Do I just hit the other thing?
Yeah, we're here.
That's it?
Congrats.
Oh.
That's it.
That's it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the first episode of Series 3 of The Growing of the Dim. We've got a new overlay this season. We've got the same lovely group of folks as Season 2, and we are going to get underway fairly shortly. First of all, I'm Anita. I'm your storyteller this evening. My pronouns are she, they, and I've got, and like I said, an amazing crew. We're going to start with the wonderful Chris.
Why, hello. My name is Chris, Omnis on the internet. I'm going to be playing Virgil, uh, we're going to say a walking nightmare for some people, but in general, a really sweet kid. Well, adult, an older adult. And we're on our way someplace new.
Awesome. Next up, we've got Becca.
Hello. I'm Becca. I'm using, I guess, any pronouns at the moment because I'm in a bit of a mood at the moment. And I'm going to be playing Genevieve, who uses she, her pronouns and is the owner of the local mine and the town widow.
Awesome. Next up, we've got B.
Hey, I'm B. I use she, they pronouns. I'll be playing Miss Ivy Bradford, a singer from here and there. Uses she, her pronouns, who just arrived by stagecoach.
Incredible. And last but not least, we've got Max.
Hello. My name is Max. I am Arcane Goth on the internet. I use he, they pronouns. I will be channeling Vico Ortiz heavily and playing a trans cowboy named Jasper who uses he, him pronouns.
Hell yeah. I realized that I messed that up in the overlay, but I'll fix it for next session.
Oh, you know what? He could use she there. It's fine.
It's all good. Okay, so we begin in Cimarron country in Oklahoma in the Panhandle. This is a town known as Palomino. There's not much here. There's bank, a mine that's currently not between owners, but between users, I guess, between miners. A stable, local baker and butcher. Kind of sleepy, though. Not much goes on in Palomino. But people come to Cimarron County, some to get away from the law because it is a lawless place and a lawless time. Some come to stake a claim. And others are drawn. We find ourselves in the back of a stagecoach that sort of gently bounces as the horses draw it down the road. And sitting in the back, normally you'd see that it's a long trip, about 7 days from where you came from. And I believe that was Kansas City.
Yes.
It's been a long trip from Kansas City. And no one would blame anyone for maybe falling asleep a little bit to pass the time. But wide awake in the back is Miss Ivy Bradford. Ivy, you don't know when the last time you slept was. It's been a while. But you can look out the window and you can see the countryside as it sort of rolls by you at a little bit of a quickened pace because this is, after all, a stagecoach. And I'm going to ask you, Ivy, tell me when to stop shuffling this deck of cards.
Stop, please.
Okay. Do you want the top half or the bottom half?
I'll take the top.
This one? Tell me about the man from your past. The one that you can't quite remember. But there's that face in the back of your mind.
The first time I saw him was in the hospital when I came to 16 odd years ago, back in Atlanta. He was just a flash as the nurse was helping me. And I've seen him a few times, but I don't remember anything from before the hospital. He's young, but not too young. And the face is angry. A few times I thought he was angry at something else, but then I realized I'd done something to anger him, but I wasn't afraid of him, you know?
Ivy, why'd you have to go?
Which time?
That's what his voice tells you.
Which time? So she keeps going.
The voice sort of fades, and you can see the countryside once again. The hills that sort of move into flat bush, plains. From Atlanta, St. Louis, Kansas City. He always shows up when you least expect it. That same angry face. Never mad at you. Ivy, I'd like you to make a roll with your heart, please.
Well, I have a 3 to add to my heart, so I'll do, because we're playing a PBTA game, I rolled with 2 6s. I got 2 5s, so that'd be 13.
There's something else. It's not anger. It's something deeper than that. Something more profound than that. There's other emotions as well. At the surface, it seems angry. Confusion. Denial. Loss. Suddenly, the cart jerks, and you're pulled a little bit out of the stupor. And the camera pans to a man sleeping soundly. Virgil. When was the first time you felt angry?
The first time I felt angry. Was probably watching the fires burn a little bit too long. And watching people who I knew burn with them.
I'm going to ask you So tell me when to stop shuffling.
This would be a good time.
Okay. Top of the deck,
Bottom card.
bottom card. Bottom. Okay. Why did all your hard work go to waste?
All of the hard work that I do often goes to waste because
Mm.
some people either A, want to take credit, or B, want to burn it all down. In this day and age, there are more often people who want to see me fail than anything else. So sometimes all my stuff gets undone.
You sleep in the back of this cart and you can hear the sort of crackling of the flames. That almost primordial element. The heat. Not necessarily as it washes over everything, but as it washes out from you. The first words you remember hearing is that call. Not from the flames, but from outside the flames. The words, "Help me." And you can still hear them now. Help me fix this. Fix this for me.
Yeah. Yep. I'll fix it the only way I know how. That's usually by meeting fire with fire.
And there's that same sort of jolt as the cart hits that bump. And that pulls you out of your sleep.
Virgil's eyes would probably snap open, and he would like sit up really quickly, and look around and seeing Ivy.
You're sort of
sitting
seated
there.
facing each other. It's got the two seats, the two bench seats that sort of look towards each other for conversation.
Right.
Are you looking towards the back of the cart, or are you looking towards the front?
I'm probably at this moment looking out the back.
You can see sort of like a rock that's a little bit bigger than it should be that the cart's wheel went over. It sort of goes out, getting smaller in the distance as you pass it by.
Is it daytime yet, or is it still night?
It's getting close to dawn. And through that window, you can sort of begin to see that sort of faint glow of light as it threatens to reach the horizon.
I think I'll sit back down and look at Miss Ivy, check to make sure she's not disheveled.
Ivy,
Are you all right?
I'm doing all right. Rocks in the road never bode for good sleep.
No, they don't.
How much longer do we got?
I think it's too long now. I'll look out the window, pull the curtain. I'll look out.
The
Dawn.
flat lines around you are just sort of, you can see faintly off in the distance a few standing mesas, which are the first indication that you're getting close to your destination. They were smaller in the distance, but they're getting a little larger now. And the camera sort of pulls back from this stagecoach and begins to sort of move along the horizon. Jasper,
Yes.
it's early, just before dawn. But you're still up early because you've got your own things you want to attend to before you have to start your day at work. Tell me when to stop shuffling.
Now.
Okay, top or bottom?
Top.
Okay. Which one of the horses have you taken out for a ride before dawn?
I think today I take Sage, who is an older mare who's been in my care for a while.
Sage is pretty gentle and sort of has her head low. She's older. Like one of those horses that's very well broken. Like not in a bad old mare kind of way, but just knows the path, knows where you like to go, and sort of knows your routine. She sort of stops on the trail a little bit, which is a bit unusual for Hal.
Hey, what's wrong?
Sort of nickers a little bit.
I think I kind of like lean forward a little bit to see if she's got like a spook in her eye, or maybe if she's seeing something that I'm not seeing up ahead.
And you can sort of see. Make me. Ooh. Make me a study roll.
We add the number. That's our number, right?
Correct. You'll roll your 2d6.
I have an 8 then.
Okay. It's straining your eyes. You can almost see another horse on the horizon, out for one of the wild ones.
Is it him?
Can't be sure. You could always try and get closer,
Okay.
but you might risk spooking them.
I don't think I have any other choice. I gotta get a better look. I will dismount from Sage. Just quickly, is there like a tree or something I can rope her to?
Yeah, there's like a bed of sagebrush that you
post.
can. There's a
Yeah.
post that you can hitch her up to.
All right, and then I will slowly begin to, like, Jurassic World, like approach the horse.
It's a fair ways away, so you'll have to almost try and sneak up. And you sort of make your way around a couple boulders. And you can sort of hear that whinny. It's similar, but not quite like the one that you knew. As you sort of round this corner, you can see the darkened coat of this horse. It moves. It's still not quite sunrise. It's still fairly dark. So it's kind of hard. It's almost, you strain your eyes to sort of see it against the sort of backdrop of the desert, of the Sierras.
All right, I produce like a sugar cube or two from my pocket, and I make like a quiet little click. Hey.
This horse looks at you. Make me a nerve. Roll nerve for me.
I'm good at that one. 10.
There is this sort of feral gleam in the eyes of this horse. They almost look, you would swear for a moment, deep red. As it whinnies. Not necessarily like a horse should, but like some sort of feral scream as it takes off.
Bolts. My hat flies off with like the force of wind from the gust of it. I grab it before it hits the ground, put it back on, and watch it run away.
You see it hit the top of a hill with a speed that you were probably wise. You would never have been able to catch it on Sage or otherwise.
Yeah, I would also have to go untie her and get... There's no point.
And you see as it hits that top of the crest of the hill, it rears back and then leaps. And you know this area fairly well. You've lived here for quite some time. That horse just jumped off a cliff.
Now that I was closer to it, do I know if it is the horse?
You definitely know. You know that it's the horse. You know that it's the dark steed.
Nightmare. Oh my god.
And you can still hear it running.
I'm gonna go back to Sage and not get back on, but kind of just sit down on the ground beside her and try to think about what the hell that means.
Sage is much calmer now and sort of gives you like a little bit of a horse headbutt. Like leans her head down and sort of butts up against yours.
All right.
And sort of just gives you like a gentle little whinny.
I didn't mean to spook you. It's all gone now.
It sort of does that little chuff noise that horses do.
Oh, baby.
And then immediately goes to your hand for the sugar cubes.
Yeah.
And sort of from there, it pans back to this sort of... Never mind, I just knocked something off my desk. It's fine. We pan actually into the town itself. As it pushes in this sort of like classic Western scene, buildings on either side of this main drag. There's a saloon called the Six Dice. There is a a bank that doesn't seem to be, but it also pulls into this sort of decently sized house, a little bit off of the main drag. And Genevieve,
Yeah,
give me
that's enough.
right there,
Yeah.
top of this one.
That one, yeah.
This,
Yeah.
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 I'll do this one.
Okay.
You just kept saying yeah, and I'm like, which one are you
I
saying?
did just keep saying yeah.
Which
From the
All
middle
right.
somewhere.
middle somewhere? All
Yeah.
right. Why can't you sleep? It's almost dawn. You've been up all night.
I mean, it's not necessarily easy to sleep in a house that hums all night long.
Why does it hum for you?
It hums with an activity in life that isn't necessarily present during the day. Makes it hard to sleep at night.
There's that sort of hum that sort of fills the space. You're sitting at a desk surrounded by papers. You said you'd have one more thing. It's always one more thing.
Always.
And then you'll get to bed. And you find yourself sort of going over the numbers again and again. You can't keep operating at a loss like this. What are your options?
I mean, there's the option to try and sell the mine, but no one would buy it. Obviously, it's not making anything. There's the option of just pushing deeper and hope they don't go on strike again. Or there's the worst option and figure out the problem myself. But we see how well that went the last 2 times.
How did it go the last few times?
It went with mysterious illnesses popping up out of nowhere and then people being unwilling to go into the mines after burying those they knew and loved.
And that sort of followed you like a black spot. Bad news travels fast in a small town. Bad omens even faster.
And I'm nothing but that.
And you think about how it all started. The whirlwind that brought you here. The loss that made you stay. How you didn't mean for it to happen, but years passed by. And you got left with someone else's responsibility.
I think I'm gonna give up on my papers and I'm gonna go make some coffee.
And as you sort of stand, make me a heart check
All
real
right.
quick.
Heart is the one that I only roll 1d6 in.
But you also have a 6 in it.
Yes, but I got a 7, so. But I got a 7.
Okay. You thought for a moment that you saw something out the corner of your eye. Some flicker of a memory or a phantom. that sort of feeling of pain in your chest. That little bit of a tinge as you sort of touch you have a little bit of a oil lantern burning and you sort of touch it to turn down the dial, to douse the flame. And the flame sparks. The glass of the oil lantern shatters.
Did you want a coffee too?
There's a little bit of a fire on your desk now, and the papers catch blaze.
I
Make a quick check.
A quick check? Oh, God.
Yeah.
My house is going to burn down.
Already started.
It's going to be an 11.
Easily enough, you grab the thick woolen blanket and you throw it over top of your desk. You save most of the papers.
Mm-hmm.
You hear in the back of your mind, I think I will take that coffee.
You didn't have to be dramatic about it. It's going to make you one anyway.
Darling, I'm nothing if not dramatic.
I roll my eyes and I go downstairs.
As you go downstairs and you prepare this coffee pot, you can hear the sound of this, a horse-drawn carriage. It's quiet because it's early. There's no one really up yet. You can sort of hear the rousings of the people from the bakery starting to make. As you grab your coffee and you sort of sit on the porch, you can also see a new stagecoach come into town.
Mm-hmm. I just stand there with my coffee and like my full like black mourning gear.
There's that extra cup that you always make sort of sits there. New people.
They'll leave. Everyone leaves soon enough.
New people are new opportunities.
That's true. It's always true.
Maybe they could help you with the problem you face.
Well, they'll die trying.
Not if you help them. You did say one of the options was doing it yourself.
I was speaking out loud. I suppose I was. Didn't realize you were listening.
I'm always listening.
I know you are. I have to get my hands dirty, and I do hate that.
Well, what can I say? You were always a hard worker. It's just a shame that we're stuck together like this.
'Tis a shame. You don't like me that much. You said it was a shame first.
Oh, I mean, I could just, not be here.
Leave me by my lonesome. You do that. You do that to me. You do that
I
to little me,
tried.
all by my
I
lonesome.
tried, and now I'm stuck. Seems you're very good at guilting me into staying. And get stuck to you.
Of course, everyone does.
Ivy and Virgil, the stagecoach comes to a stop. The door swings open. So the porter brings a little stool to help you make your way down. As you sort of exit the coach, you make eyes and you see a woman on a porch in full mourning gear, sort of looking at you intently with a cup of coffee in her hands. Actually, describe Genevieve for me.
I would love to. Genevieve is probably about 5'7" with like very pale white skin that's mostly covered in her like black morning gown, the kind with like a bustle, a short train, like long sleeves, that like high lace collar, and like a veil that at the moment is not covering her face. So you can see her like kind of um slightly made up face with these eyes that are just like dull brown that have like large bags of just like unsleeping under them. And um, she's just kind of there, just gives a polite nod.
And if you want to describe Virgil and Ivy, sort of
Mm,
clip-clopping into town, there is another horse coming into the stables as well,
uh,
as
so
Jasper makes his way back into town on Sage.
Virgil is he's not quite like tall, average height, very dark brown skin, uh, and most of his hair is grayed. He's got like almost a lion's mane of beard around his head, and like wild curly hair that's somewhat kempt, but not truly. Definitely 4C hair. Uh, and he is wearing uh like loose fitting slacks and like a dress shirt with this what could be a like suit jacket that's a little bit too long. Uh, but yeah, his eyes are this black as he helps Ivy down from the coach, and sees the person in mourning. Uh, that's it.
Ivy takes your hand and very graciously, thank you, Virgil. And she steps out and she has black boots fitting for the time with laces and a heel. Following up with a kind of a forest green dress of many layers and it has a kind of a few different it has an yeah, a few different layers and a cross piece. It has a bit of a corset to it. The green has on it a pattern of flowers. It's kind of low cut in a square cut and has some billowing sleeves trimmed with a black lace, kind of frilly lace. She has dark hair and it kind of comes up and kind of has lots of curls that comes down. And she wears a very shiny hairpin. She has very fancy jewelry. She's very she looks very strong as she kind of steps out. She has a very strong posture. Um she steps out. She takes your hand, but she doesn't really need your steadying as she confidently steps down into the dirt. And then kind of starts to step around to reach up to grab her bags from the back of the coach.
And the porter's already brought them sort of down.
Thank you.
Welcome to town, folks. If you're looking for lodgings, the Six Dice probably your best bet. Jasper.
Morning.
Morning. This is one of the people that run the stagecoach in town. They know you fairly well because you take care of the horses when they come back in.
You got a new batch coming in?
Yeah, if you could, I think she might have thrown a shoe, like just a little bit down. I did the best I could with what I had, but we've been running her a little ragged, so if you could ferry her up for us, that would be great.
Yeah, I got it. No problem. Welcome to town, I guess. And he tips his hat at whatever people have come off of the coach that are nearby.
Good morning.
Morning.
And Jasper, you see, sort of standing across the way, you see a very familiar sight. You do see Genevieve on the stoop, having a coffee. looking at all of you.
I can tell that's only her first one. And goes to attend to his duties with the.
What does Jasper look like?
Jasper is about 5'6". I guess pretty jockey-ish in nature because it's what he does. He's got hair that's about shoulder length and very dark brown, almost black. He's got a tan or olive-ish tone skin and brown eyes. They would be sparkly if they ever hit light, but the hat usually shades it.
And the group of you kind of congregate at this. Ivy and Virgil, you can begin to make your way sort of to the 6 dice. And you can sort of begin to sort of get that sort of smell of baking bread. As you do see off in a little ways, there is a bakery, there is a butcher. There's pretty much everything that anybody would need in a small town. Maybe this is a good place to stay for a little while.
That's good for us. Virgil will also
nice.
grab his bag, which would be suspiciously light to anyone else, and begin to.
Hey,
walk.
Ivy. No, go ahead. You begin to walk a little bit.
Yeah, that's it.
Ivy, can I get you very quickly to make me a study roll?
Of course. Eight.
You see it for a flash when you sort of look back over your shoulder at the woman in mourning, having the cup of coffee, just over her shoulder, behind. You see those eyes. And that anger. And then it's gone.
I might need a drink.
Can I help you with your bags? If you need a hand to the
Please,
to
of
Six
course.
Die?
And she'll tip the driver of the carriage and thank you so very much.
Clive, that's my name. But yeah, pulls the baggage
Nice
up
to meet you, Clyde.
and sort of helps you. I'll make sure that Gloria knows that you're good folk. She'll take
I
care
believe
of you.
she's expecting us. I believe.
Oh,
Actually,
Miss Gloria's expecting you?
indeed.
oh.
I've known her since a time.
You know Sheriff Maxwell?
Indeed. It's been a while, though. I'm actually here at her invitation.
Oh, well, that's real good to know. Well, any friend of the sheriff's a good friend of mine because she got us out of a tight spot a little while ago.
That's good to hear. I hear she's changed a bit in the years. Sheriff now, is she?
Yeah, a little bit of a local legend around these parts.
That's just wonderful.
Uh,
Perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about it as we carry the bags inside.
Of
So
course.
far, you've already been good at telling tales.
Oh, I mean, usually when we keep camp for the night, I like to spin a yarn or two. But yeah, Sheriff Maxwell owns the 6 Dice Saloon, and actually, she The last sheriff that was in town fell ill, and a couple rabble rousers decided it'd be a good chance to take advantage of things. And, well, Sheriff Maxwell wasn't really sheriff at the time. She was just Gloria to most of us, and said she wasn't having any more of it, and sent those fellas running. With the
That
fear of
does
God in
sound a
them,
bit
from what
like
I hear.
Gloria.
Ain't nobody seen him since.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That was the last
That's a
anybody
good
saw of
thing
the
then.
Cast Iron Gang.
Cast Iron Gang. Was it a very large gang?
I think it was 7 people last I checked. Stood them down all by her lonesome. Stroke of midnight. Wasn't even high noon.
Did they run from town or did she gun them down?
Honestly, no one actually saw. All we heard was a single gun. All we heard was a single gunshot. Found Miss Gloria in the center of town, and Cast Iron Gang was nowhere to be seen. Saw
Well, that
all their
seems very
weapons just
fortuitous.
sitting in the middle of town, and she said she'd run them off.
They left their pieces.
They left their pieces.
Stranger things have happened.
Hmm.
She kind of looks over at Virgil and kind of.
That's the single
Okay.
bullet that was fired is actually lodged into the side of the bank building over there.
Did they memorialize it?
I could show you if you like. I don't think they memorialized it, but it's still there.
Virgil is literally just trying to get a read on this person.
On Carter or
they-
or
Well,
Clive is his
Clive.
name.
And the general, like, when Ivy said we were expected, like, what his reaction was.
Ooh, okay. This is going to be a move. This sounds like it's an appeal check, which is rolled with heart. It's to question or examine someone's emotional state.
Okay. I got 3 in that, so 2 dice. Just got a 6.
So that is a poor result.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask me to describe the obvious clues of someone's emotion, or you can bargain to ask one question and take one forward on the answers.
I think it's just an obvious thing, right? Like, they haven't. I'm gonna take the obvious one. I'm not gonna risk it at the moment because we
You can
just
ask for
got
the
here.
obvious clues.
Yeah.
A little surprised that Ivy knew the sheriff. A little impressed, maybe.
All right.
And otherwise, just sort of making like friendly conversation. Clive seems like a stand-up fella.
All right. I'm not gonna think too much of it.
We head inside. Miss Ivy will pull her purse and pull out, I don't know, 50 cents and tip him. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank you
much
kindly.
for all of your assistance, and
2 bits.
I hope that you'll come hear me sing later on this evening.
Oh, you're a little bit of a chanteuse?
I dabble.
Well, I'd be delighted to hear you sing. I'm about to finish up with the last of maybe unload some supplies, and later this evening, perhaps I'll stop by.
See you
'Cause,
then.
I got about a night's layover here before I have to head back out on my next run.
Thank you much.
Have a good night, Miss Ivy. And Virgil, it was?
Yes, Virgil.
Have a good night, folks. and we'll sort of turn on a heel and head back towards the stables. Jasper,
All right.
Mm-hmm.
how's your morning start?
After I take care of whatever exactly Clive has asked me to do, taking the horses in, I probably have to go take care of some things at the stable, set out some hay and whatnot, and then Jasper will have his coffee made in like the world's crappiest. I don't know. Would it be a percol? I don't even know what you would use to make coffee
Honestly,
at this time. Percolator?
this would probably be cowboy coffee. So it's probably literally just a pot that you threw like ground beans and water into.
Works. Yeah. Yeah. It was gonna be bad if he made it anyway. So it's like
and it the grinds do settle to the bottom, so like there's like a certain balancing act to like pouring the pot, so you don't get any grounds in it for a little bit, but there's always like a little bit at the bottom of your cup. So yeah, always leave about this much left in your cup before you dump it out.
Ugh. It'll do.
And it's strong.
That's how he would need it. I think he has a lot to think about. He's kind of finally encountered this creature he has so dreamt about. So he's likely drinking his coffee and going over a map of the area, trying to figure out some kind of hideout it could have gone to past that cliff, or any landmarks and things that might be of help in figuring out exactly what it wants.
And you've always sort of felt at peace at work in this stable. People don't usually bother you here. Clive knows you well enough, and sort of like knows to like keep a distance when you're working.
Mm-hmm.
But you've also got that sort of image of the horse in the back of your mind, those eyes that seeming to glow for just a second. Kind of like how yours would in the right light.
I think he is very unsettled right now because he knows that he is connected to it because he's dreamt of it and he's here to find it. But having found it and locking eyes with it and feeling even more connected to the thing that is quite literally named after a bad dream doesn't feel very morally sound. So he is pretty torn, I think.
The horses in the stable sort of begin to sort of shuffle a little bit restlessly, almost as though they're sensing that trouble that's in your mind.
He kind of looks at all of them, thinks that it's that, but doesn't want to believe that it's true, so he tries to force a thought of the taste of the coffee instead.
The horses sort of settle a little bit. You see a couple of them get like a look of like, it's weird to see a horse that almost looks like like they've tasted something bitter, like had bad medicine. They all sort of have that simultaneous look in their eyes.
I'm sorry. And he thinks about the taste of like a carrot instead.
They all sort of the mood of the horses sort of shifts. They all seem a little bit more content.
Are we gonna be doing this indefinitely? Because sometimes my food ain't great, guys.
They just and like just as sort of quickly as this sort of thing came on, they all settle and it's fine.
All right.
Maybe they're reacting to the unease in your mind.
I sure hope not. And I think I will, for narrative's sake, I will head to town, maybe to get a proper breakfast. At the six-sided die.
At the 6 dice.
Yeah.
So you make your way in, Ivy and Virgil, and Genevieve. You have your coffee on your porch. You see people begin to start their days. You can see the meat man
I
sort of shuffle out of his butcher shop with like just sort of a bag of like something.
Genevieve doesn't wave at everyone, but she's gonna wave at the meat man.
Like the meat man is just kind of crotchety looking, like a little hunched over, wild gray hair, kind of like a squirrely look in his eyes, and he sort of looks at you. But when he looks at you, he never looks at you. He always looks just over your shoulder.
Yeah, most people. Yeah.
Kind of the same way that new lass in town did.
Do I feel him over my shoulder?
He's never far.
Yeah. I nod and I finish my coffee.
Why don't you go out for breakfast? Go make friends. You can't just keep moping around. You can't keep moping around forever. Honestly, it's a little exasperating.
All right. I would go hang out more, make more friends and things if I wasn't ostracized by everyone in this community.
How is that my fault?
You know how it's your fault.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fine.
Tell me, Genevieve, do these conversations that you have, are they out loud or are they sort of
they are
internally?
definitely under her breath. It doesn't help her image in the town. So it's just a woman in full mourning, like full mourning gown on her porch, muttering to herself.
I mean, it can't hurt to start mending fences. And the new people don't know about your reputation.
I'm sure the first town gossip that finds them will tell them all about it. Are you gonna drink that or?
You know, I just like the fact that you leave it for me.
All right, I'll leave it. I'll go make more of it for myself. Or I'll go get some when I go to breakfast. Fine, fine. How do I look?
I mean, I could try it, but the cup falls over on its side.
If you break another mug, I can't keep explaining why I have to go to the store and
The
buy new
coffee
mugs.
pours on the ground.
We're outside. We could at least gone inside to try it. Now there's just a mysterious coffee stain on the floor.
Sorry.
You're
I
good.
tried.
No, it's understandable.
But I like that you still make me my cup of coffee. That's great.
Do you need another one now, or
No.
was that content? You're done with it?
Yeah.
Absolutely lovely. Do I look good enough to go out to breakfast?
You always look incredible. What are you talking about?
Stop. Fine then.
Beautiful's the day I met you, honestly.
Oh, relax.
What?
Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Fine. Go make friends.
I will go.
Maybe, get out of the morning gear every once in a while. You don't need to keep wearing black.
I'm still mourning.
Are you, though?
Yes.
I mean, I know that I'm dead, but at the same time, like, I'm
I
here.
didn't say I was mourning you. I said I was in mourning.
Oh, excuse me.
No,
Like
oh, what
that I
no.
think picks up a little bit louder and Alistair looks at you, the meat man.
Good morning, Alistair. You look beautiful as always. What kind of cuts you got today?
I got meat.
A charmer as always.
Hi, Raiders, welcome in.
Um, and I'm going to go inside my house. For the record, I have other things to mourn about that aren't just about you. You should be
What?
aware of that. I know they're
Like
not
what?
around as much.
What are you gonna mourn about?
Hmm. I know they're not around as much, but they might still hear.
You sort of hear like a small like whisper. You can't quite hear it.
See, now they're upset. I'm gonna go get my breakfast. Do you need me to bring you something? Are you wanting a waffle?
I mean, if you could get some toast, that'd be nice.
Toast, all right. I'll get you some toast. And I'm not changing. I dump my coffee out. I go to the saloon for breakfast.
And Ivy and Virgil, you are greeted not by Gloria, not by Sheriff Maxwell yet, but there is another person that sort of arrives. She's looking a little bit flustered, a little bit harried, and sorry, one sec. I think that's outside. Just looking a little bit flustered. She's sort of got like a mess of unkempt hair. Looks like might have just woke up, but also might have also heard the people showing up to the business and like just got up and got dressed and just like almost rolled out of bed and just like sort of straightening herself up as she comes. Hi. Um,
Good
uh,
morning.
room for two.
I'm Miss Ivy Bradford, and this is my companion,
Oh,
Virgil.
Ivy. Yes.
Yes.
Gloria told me all about you. Um, yes. She opens sort of a ledger. You'll be wanting one room or two rooms?
Two separate rooms, please.
Two separate rooms? Gotcha. Yes.
Adjoining would be preferable.
That doesn't really exist here, but you can just we'll be right next to each other. We don't really have many people
Perfect.
here where occupancy is a little bit low. But it sort of hands you two old keys.
Thank you.
I'll go let Gloria know that you're here.
Lovely. I don't think I need
I
to
think
see the room.
she's
so-
at the sheriff's office right now, just down the street, and I'll sort of run out the back and get her.
We will have breakfast. Yes?
Don't steal anything from behind the bar. I'll be right back. I promise. Jasper.
Morning.
Hi, sweetie. Good to see you. Do you mind watching the bar for like 2 seconds?
He looks at his, like, watch. He didn't have anything to fucking do. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll watch the bar.
Like seriously, I'm like, and I'll like start cooking breakfast for all of you as soon as I get back. I gotta, and like runs out the door, like just like a bolt gone, and sort of almost bumps into you, Genevieve, as, oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Roy. It's
Yeah.
good to see you. I'll be right back, and just sort of runs.
Good morning.
Morning. I assume you all I know you all the lovely individuals because you weren't run from my house, but what, 15 minutes ago?
The very same.
Hmm.
To what do we owe the honor of your presence this morning?
The honor of my presence is more so I was desiring breakfast that wasn't of my own making.
I agree with that desire. Don't you agree, Virgil? I'm famished.
Breakfast would be nice.
Are you hungry? She looks over at Jasper.
That's why I came. I certainly don't work here. But
What's
I
the
can.
food like?
It's a food in a tavern in Palomino.
Sounds perfect.
Generally, it's warm. So that's a good thing that people like.
The eggs are pretty good.
Hmm.
Mm. I see. Is there bacon?
Depends on the day. Mood of the butcher. You can ask.
I believe the mood of the day, speaking with our illustrious meat man, was meat. So, bacon may or may not be on the menu.
You know, maybe we should upgrade the menu. And he crouches and looks like under the bar for a bottle of Bailey's and pours a little bit into his shitty coffee and then holds it out to the rest of you.
There's not necessarily cream liqueurs, but there is definitely
There's
whiskey you could
whiskey.
put in
Yeah,
tea.
that'll work.
There is whiskey you could put in
Yeah.
your coffee.
It's that kind of morning already.
You can put it on my
And
tab.
Let's see if we've got a little morning music into us. And Ivy's gonna kind of walk over to the piano and just kind of play a little classical music, just kind of warm up the room a
little.
bit.
It's almost like a little bit of pianoforte.
Not too badly out of tune.
It's actually it's fairly well upkept.
Perfect. Especially for such a hot place. It's warm here in the morning.
That means it'll be worse during the day.
It's not so bad. You get used to it. I assume you folks aren't from down south.
We're from everywhere.
Yeah. A little bit. A little bit of everywhere.
Look at Genevieve like that's not suspicious at all. Look at it.
So is then entertaining what brings y'all to town? You immediately moved to the piano.
Actually, yes. Your esteemed sheriff and the owner of this fine establishment, Miss Gloria Maxwell, and I, we go way back, and she sent me a missive and asked if I'd come out and do her saloon a spell or two to bring in a little cheer. So
A little
we thought
cheer.
well, you know, it's rough
Is that
out here in the
Ivy I
plains.
hear?
Gloria. She gets
And
up from
sort
behind
of
the piano and
busting
fabric
in,
swishing roughs
is
over.
This like sort of like dark brown skin, like hair is sort of flattened down under a hat, sort of rushes in and pulls you into a hug. She's wearing a duster and pulls you into a hug and just it's good to see you.
My old friend.
And Cynthia sort of runs in sort of behind and rushes directly into the kitchen, doesn't even say hi to anybody, just goes. All right. And you can hear the frantic sound of pots and pans beginning to get scrambled together so that some breakfast might be had. And well, it's excellent to see you. And Genevieve, not often you darken my doorstep.
Oh, my apologies then.
No, it's not. It's not a bad thing. I'm actually glad to see you getting out and about a little bit. And you must be Virgil. Ivy wrote to me about you.
That's correct.
Um, Perfect. And that is actually kind of why, in fact, it's kind of good that you're here too, and points to you, Genevieve.
Oh, what's happened now? Are they causing more chaos up there?
You know it.
Should I be stepping out?
No, actually, I might need your help too with this one. My resources, are a little bit stretched thin here, so I have limited with what I can do, and I might actually need to hire you at least in a guide capacity.
Alright, I can usually do that.
I can't
Um,
cook, but I can make drinks. And Ivy swings behind the bar and starts pulling out glasses for everyone.
Perfect. Pour me some. It's never too early this morning, but um, pour me some, and I'll let you know a little bit about why I actually called you here.
Getting right to it then, huh?
I mean, it's no time like the present, and while sun's almost up, might as well get to work and make hay while it shines. Listen, I'll give you like the day or two to sort of let me know if you'll take me up on this, but I could really use your help, Ivy.
Well, what is it, my friend?
Um, well, Genevieve actually knows a little bit about this too.
Mayhaps.
Some some folks, since the mine's been empty and inoperable for a spell, some folks have been tending to try and make trouble up there. I haven't made their way down into town just yet, but
I mean,
they're
Kind.
not the good kind.
and I would like the trespassers out of my mine.
That's kind of that's kind of the whole shebang, as it were. But something's a little bit off about these folks. They're not like, sometimes you get people that go up there, they'll gamble, they'll drink, they'll have a little bit of a hootenanny when the mine's not in operation. But this group, they're a little bit different, and I don't know how to tell you this, but there's been a couple weird things coming out of the mine, and Jasper, you'd know this. Some of the horses from the ranch have been going missing.
So I've heard. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
You think the two are connected?
I don't know just yet, but I'd like at the very least for someone to go up there and see what these folks are up to. Might need just a little bit of skullduggery.
That can be fun.
And well, Genevieve knows every corner of that mine.
For better or for worse.
Jasper
don't-
knows the way.
Seem like the kind of lady who would be traipsing around about a mine.
Not in this outfit.
Genevieve
long
has the. No, go ahead.
Have you been in mourning long?
What is this, my fourth year?
Something like that. Since Mr. Roy left us.
So sorry to hear for his passing.
Hmm.
Can I, just kind of, as Ivy looks around, looking at Genevieve and just, kind of just, tap into my power a little bit just to see if I recognize anybody,
Anybody around?
yeah, that I can, so in the venerable powers, I can do the recognizing, with any result. So I'll roll But just want to see what I recognize on that list.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll roll 2 powered die. Well, hopefully there won't be doubles. There weren't. So I got a 6. So 6 is enough to recognize. So I just want to recognize that if there are any of those 3 here in the room with us. I could type it to you if that's helpful.
Any of those 3? What exactly are you looking for? Sorry.
I will chat you.
Yeah, if you can chat me, that would be great.
Secrets.
Send
Secrets.
me a quick secret message.
Secrets.
Secret message. Secret message.
Secret message
Oh
to
my
Through
the
the Zoom
GM.
chat. Secret
There we go.
Secret
Message.
Genevieve is just definitely getting another cup of coffee. And we'll try to get Jasper to pour some whiskey into it.
You get. I'm going to tell you that secret message.
Okay. Thank you. So she just kind of looks at her drink and
and
thinking.
you know Gloria a little too.
Okay.
Gloria's always been kind of just a little bit.
Thank you.
What does that mean? Is this like
Secret.
Is this a gaydar?
I'm just
what
turning
did
on
you
my
activate?
radar. Exactly. It's a dar. It's a dar. Yeah.
Okay.
I got my
We don't
dar
need
on.
gaydar in this game. It's got to be.
You don't need
No,
gaydar
because
in
it's
Palomino.
Okay.
This is you're focusing sort of in the immediate vicinity, correct? That was the
Yeah.
yeah. You definitely there's that sort of flash.
I'm going to B's character sheet.
Yeah.
I just couldn't find out where it says that on the character sheet that you have in the character keeper, but
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Thank you for sending me that message. There's that definite flash, and you all, I mean, if you can find out what's going on, there's been some weird lights up in the hills. Those horses have been going missing, and then there's those the people that have been taken.
Did you
Weird
say
lights every
people?
night. People?
Well, I mean, the people that have taken up in the mine.
Oh.
People haven't been going missing. No, not yet. Horses first.
I see.
But if the more you could, look into this. Because I know this is kind of a little bit your specialties, things that are a little bit unusual, a little bit strange.
Look over at Jasper.
Is she talking to me?
Shrug.
I'm just following eyes right now.
I'm sure we can handle it, Madam Sheriff.
All right.
I don't know.
I mean, there's obviously pay in it for you, and I wouldn't ask for you to get into anything you couldn't handle, no trouble, or nothing like that.
And sometimes it's easier to keep folks from panicking if you don't alert the town to the things that might be going on up in the hills.
Exactly.
I would still like to get to perform while I'm here, though. If I came all this way.
Of course.
Okay.
You've got the run of the place, if that's what you're looking for, of course.
It's good for my health,
Of course. Nothing like a little bit of fresh air, of course, though, to get the blood going. You all sort of sit there, realizing that you've all sort of found your way into this together. I mean, if you got any questions for me.
I mean, do you know more than I what's going on in the mines?
Well, I mean, I sent Miss Gray up there the other day. I don't know. She said there was something weird about the way things were going down there. some chanting, some lights.
Oh, they're always chanting with the lights in
You
there.
didn't say there was chanting.
Have you not heard the chanting? They're chanting all the time in there.
Well, I
I
mean, there's
sleep
always
like
been
a
the voices
log.
in the hills. You've heard them.
Have I heard them? Anita?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Do you think they could just be doing that to keep people afraid?
Possibly. That's why I need a little bit of confirmation.
I don't understand necessarily what more people needed to be afraid of the mines. Thought
Keep
everything
people
else that
away.
happened there was enough.
What happened there?
The normal things that happen in mines.
Nothing of great importance for our current issue.
Take your word of it. For Virgil.
I, for one, think that there's a lot not being said here.
Well, there's not a lot being told here either. I don't really have many answers for you. I'm sorry. It's kind of one of the reasons why I called Ivy, and I trust her instincts. I trust her senses.
I do as well.
I'm, you know, I'm I'm good in a fight, but sneaking around, finding clues, investigating. I was just a saloon owner before stood up to the cast iron gang.
You will need to tell me more about that
and
one
it
of these
will be
nights.
a story for the ages. I know.
Already is.
Buy me a drink, and maybe I'll tell you the tale. It's not much to say, but the townsfolk trust me to keep them safe, and well, sometimes I got to contract that out. I might.
And who was that Gray you were speaking of?
Oh, that's Cynthia. That's my deputy, who's currently holed up in the kitchen.
Oh, yes, your deputy is also your. Okay.
Oh, I mean, everybody kind of wears a couple different hats here. I mean, Cynthia used to actually be the clerk at the sheriff's office before we had like I said, we ran into a bit of trouble a couple of years back with the cast iron gang. Sheriff fell sick, and the deputy didn't fare much better. They started trying to harass us for funds, and well, I wound up standing up for them.
She's making it sound way less cool than everybody else does. Not that
It
I was
it
here.
really wasn't that interesting, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, as long as you got this place under control.
I mean, I got as much under control as I got to, and I mean, Father Mouton keeps the folks keeps the fear of God in a lot of the folks, and I keep the fear of the law in a lot of more of them.
Fancy to have a man of the cloth around for that.
Yeah, he's some fancy upstart from Albuquerque, but he does a good job with what he's got.
All right then. Well, if that's all you're going to tell us, then I suggest we eat and perhaps drop off our bags.
Well, here, let me take those up for you. And you begin to hear the sound of plates being assembled from the kitchen. One of them crashes to the floor, and you hear, ah, shit.
The moment that she reaches for my bag, I grab it. No, I'll take it.
Well, suit yourself. Room's up there. It's second door to the left. I had them both set aside for you, side by side.
Perfect.
All right.
I'm gonna go help sweep that up. Do all of you know how to ride a horse?
I believe so.
All
I know
right.
my way around.
All right. We'll get everybody saddled up in a few minutes, but I can't. I wasn't raised to leave a shattered plate on the floor, even if I don't work here. And he goes to help.
And Cynthia in the back is just sort of trying to sweep it up, and it's just at the same time is trying to juggle three different plates at once, and she's not very graceful. She just sort of feels like make me, I don't know. Let's have a quick look at the moves here. Make me a confront check, which is done with nerve. Jasper, if you want to sort of read the situation.
Oh God, that was really good. I have a 10 plus 4, 14.
And you sort of, let me have a look at the moves again. You can ask three questions if you like. You can tell at this point that, like, Cynthia's not graceful and you've known her well enough for that.
Mm-hmm. Is something on your mind this morning? You seem a little off.
Just had a rough start to the day because felt like things were something was out. Felt like ever have one of those days where you feel like something's out to get you?
You have no idea.
Felt like I just hit the ground running and couldn't go, but I couldn't catch up from there.
My family was always very cautious of those things, so just in case, why don't you keep a second pair of eyes on you today? I don't want to come back and find out that you had some premonition, and it was my fault for not warning you to stay in.
Oh, well, you know what? I got lots of work at the office or here that'll keep me busy, so you don't need to worry about me, done. I got up in the mine a couple days ago and just you know what? I looked through those caves and it was like I could hear voices around the corner, but then you just couldn't find them.
What did they sound like they were saying anything particular? Are they speaking in tongues? Or?
You know how when you can hear a conversation just outside the room and they're just kind of muffled but can't quite make out the words, maybe like a syllable here or there?
Uh-huh.
Sounded like that.
And you didn't see anything? Any footprints?
That was the damnedest thing. I couldn't see hide nor hair. Nobody in there. But it always felt like there was someone just around a bend.
I hate that feeling.
It's the worst.
Well, I hope you can shake it.
Then I came running back to town as fast as I could, and, well...
I'm hoping...
But I could see the signs that there were people in there. They graffiti things, they scroll things on the walls, and leave their shit about, but...
Maybe they've been up there for a while, then.
Yeah, didn't seem like they were squatting in there. Just seemed like they were maybe throwing a hootenanny or something.
No footprints, but voices. They had to come in sometime or another.
Yeah, I mean, you'd figure. All right, breakfast is just about ready. You want to grab those 2 plates for me?
Yeah, of course.
Sort of brings up a couple plates and sets them down for you all. It's pretty good breakfast. There is bacon.
Phew.
There's actually a couple sausage links thrown in there too that have been sort of sliced, like some chorizo.
Whoa!
Height of luxury.
Yeah. Virgil is very happy with this.
I know that she's just off camera on the overlay, but she's real cute right now.
Cute.
Mayday's here, everyone.
There's a Mayday just off
such
screen
a
at the
good
moment.
girl. Oh god, I
There
can
it
see
is.
like just the top of her little ears. Oh, a
She's so
baby.
A baby. Cat break. But sort of on that note, as you all sort of settle in for breakfast, the camera sort of shifts out from the Six Dice Saloon and up to the hills surrounding, and you can sort of hear that same sort of strange chanting, almost like people saying words, but just out of earshot, those single syllable sentences, nothing quite coalescing at the moment. And the sun sort of begins to rise and creep up as the voices reach this almost crescendo and then fall silent as the sun comes to full. And that's where we're going to take our quick first break for the evening.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick
So I just hit
5 or
the-
10 minutes.
I just hit
No.
the other one and it goes back.
Yeah, that's all you do.
Okay.
So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break or so. We will be right back, y'all. Stick around. We'll see you soon. Hello, I think we're live. That's it.
I
We are.
Yeah.
Hey.
Buttons.
Good job. We are back from break. It is the third series of The Growing of the Dim. We're in a little bit of a Haunted West situation. Our intrepid group of, I wouldn't call them adventurers yet. Uh, our collected group of souls are finding their way to the mine that is owned by Mrs. Genevieve Roy, 4 years now widowed. Our and our friend Jasper is going to be heading the. We got some switches on the overlay. We just need to rearrange some windows.
Did we move?
That's easy enough for you to do. Just open Zoom and just.
Wait, I can. Oh, I should move you on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, where was everybody? Okay, me and you were in the right place. It's a switch.
It's just Chris and Becca.
Did that? Okay. That looks
Hey.
great.
We did it.
Hey.
Yes.
Why did I think that this would be hard? It's not that hard. When Anita sits there
You have
for 40
mad
minutes and
skills.
walks you through it. Easy.
So yeah, this is our next our session of Growing the Dim. I'm realizing that we're in I realized that we should probably be in tabletop RPGs.
Oh,
Are we not in tabletop RPGs?
Oh, we were in talk shows and podcasts because I usually have it set up for morning ritual. But anyways, you all sort of gather having breakfast for the morning. And
Genevieve has to go change.
Genevieve gets changed into. What does Genevieve come back in?
Genevieve comes back into with a like large flat brimmed black hat with her hair like this dark brown hair pulled into like a braid over the side, and she's wearing like a black shirt that's tucked into black pants, and then like black over the knee boots. It's still morning. Only black clothes. But it's very
Keep telling.
fancy. Yeah, you know.
I keep telling you, you don't have to wear the black anymore. You're fine. I suppose it's
pick
keeping-
one
it's
thing.
coming
Is
up-
it am I
keeping
making
up with
friends or am I not wearing black? Pick one.
Oh, fine.
Thank you.
The voice falls silent.
Yeah. Hey, wait, I'm not done talking to you. Do you have anything to say about we're going to the mines? You have anything you want to contribute to before I go there? Any
Oh, so now
warnings?
you want my opinion on things.
Now I want your opinion on the mines because I don't want to die there.
Oh, I mean, you know every inch of that place. You knew it better than I did.
Yeah, and that's why you died. I don't know why.
Ouch.
Okay, I'm sorry. Do you have anything you want to say about the mines that I should know?
Ugh. That I don't know, don't die. It's gonna take all of you to make this work, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to see. I can't really I'm just sort of following around. I'm just kind of with you for the ride, really.
Right. Well, I appreciate your input. If anything comes to you that might be relevant, just give me a holler, I suppose.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you, dear.
Just just keep an eye out. Watch your six.
Watch my
And
six.
if you end up anywhere you're not supposed to be, you'll be fine.
Thank you. I leave. Genevieve
Hey,
comes
wait up.
out. Oh my God.
I mean, like I said, I'm never far. I'm always sticking close.
God.
Like I said, I'm along for this ride. Let's do it. I'm excited. It's been a while since you've left town.
Oh, don't get too excited. Genevieve like returns from her house and just looks exacerbated.
Does anybody else need to make a pit stop?
Yeah, Ivy runs up after breakfast. She runs up to her luggage and she gets changed into some comfortable riding pants and a nice button down hat, ready to ride.
Virgil stays exactly as he is. He does not go
Virgil.
and changes his. He doesn't change his outfit.
I can appreciate a simple man.
Well, I don't have much, so
Alright, then let's get going to the stable. We'll get you all saddled up. If there's nothing else we need to do, we can
Easily
get
enough.
ready. Yeah.
You find your way to the stables. You saddle up. Miss Genevieve's horse, Miss Roy's horse.
Yeah.
Scarlet.
What was the name of your horse again?
Scarlet.
Scarlet, the horse.
Mm-hmm.
And whichever horses you want to saddle up, you have at your disposal. The owner of the livery is just like, sheriff's already given me, letting me know what's going on. Don't need to tell you. Be careful.
Thank you.
can I try and see if any of these horses would be okay with me on their backs? Just, recognize anything.
I mean, if you want to try and sort of connect with this horse, and put your best foot forward, I'd say to roll me heart.
All right, we're at it again.
It's fine.
That's actually a 12.
Ooh.
Nice.
I like.
Yeah, I got 3.
This horse sort of, actually, it's strange. It kind of sort of sidles up to you. This is Sage from earlier. Sort of walks up to Virgil and just sort of bumps heads.
Hmm.
Does a friendly headbutt.
All right. And I look over at, and I just, you said your name was Jasper, yes?
Yeah.
What is the name of this horse?
Is this a particular horse?
It's Sage.
It is Sage. Okay. This is Sage. She's an older lady.
All right, well, then, Sage, I'll be in your care. And I will mount up.
Sage sort of gives a little soft horse sound, like a little whinny, just sort of. So,
That's a good sign for the day.
I think he looks a little conflicted at the thought of taking her on like a job. But he will do it.
Sage is sort of an old salt and kind of knows the business, that if things start going sideways, she'll just run back to town.
As she should.
I will also let our audience know that at no point will harm come to these horses that is on our lines and veils sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Because safety tools are important. The group of you sort of head out into the.
As we
go
before
ahead.
we leave, Ivy would like to just behind the bar grab a little cloth parcel of some of the baked goods of the morning, just in case
yeah.
we're out for a
You
while.
can. In fact, I think before you're about to head out, there's this sort of this sort of wait, hold up, wait a second.
Oh, she can call us while we wait 30 minutes for Genevieve to change at the house.
It did not take that long. You're being
Uh,
dramatic.
That
Cynthia
was
sort
Max.
Okay.
of Cynthia sort of runs up, and I packed you all a lunch.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. That's very kind of you.
Um, uh, well, I help out where I can. All right. Be safe. Uh, you'll be fine. You're all professionals, right? Jasper, you know what you're doing. You know those hills better than anybody.
uh, I'm sure I can handle the navigation, that's for certain.
All right.
I think we'll be all right, Miss Cynthia. Thank you for caring about us, though.
And you sort of all make your way over the hills into sort of this. You can see those tall standing mesas off in the distance, and you know that that's sort of the direction that you need to go for the mine. You follow. There's a set of tracks that sort of lead out that direction because they'll bring the goods back into town. There's like a small. It's in disrepair at the moment, but there was like a small steam liner, but it was just like a single engine that would just go up and down the track with the goods in town when the mine was in operation. It's fallen out of disrepair these years, but it's another thing you got to fix, Genevieve.
Virgil, yes.
Yes.
You said you implied that you weren't getting in the amount of information you were wanting. Is there any particular things you would like to know heading into this?
I'd like to know what happened in the mines.
I mean, there's been plenty of deaths from mine accidents and things like that, but there have been three other, that I can at least note, incidents that are deaths in the mine that happened outside of the mine. Something coming back with someone.
Hmm. I see.
I don't know
Genevieve. No, Genevieve, you would know that the sickness that killed the sheriff was something that came back from the mines.
four instances then.
Well,
We can account this mine sickness to the sheriff, the previous one, obviously, and to the former owners of these mines, Mr. and Mrs. McFadden, and then my late husband.
and these deaths weren't intentional?
Why would someone willingly die of the disease?
That's not what I meant. I meant that as long as no one was murdered, my suspicion is a little bit less.
From my understanding, no one has been murdered in the mines.
That's all I wanted to know.
If you want to
Absolutely.
listen to the town's understanding, there's definitely someone that's been murdering some people in the mines. Well, or outside of the mines, in an estate. But that's if you listen to the people.
Got
Are
nothing
you
to
saying
say
the
to that.
mines are full of disease?
I'm just saying there's something that comes from the mines.
But it doesn't get everybody.
Doesn't get everybody.
That shouldn't be too hard to try to deal with.
Wish I knew more of the nature of it, but it scares off plenty of workers, so That's all I really think about it now.
How long has your mind been closed?
How long has my mind been closed?
Better part of a year
Mm.
at this point.
Are you
Almost-
just getting by on your reserves then?
For the most part, yes. My parents, before their death, left enough behind for me to get by, and my husband was still making money in the mine.
The no, never mind.
Never mind.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
If he has commentary he wants to input.
I mean, you can always tell them what we mine. I was very proud of it. I was very proud of the operation.
It's a salt mine, if anyone was curious.
Salt of the earth, light of the world. That's us.
Salt. Yep, salt of the earth, plate of the world.
That is a rarity.
McFadden salt mine. It's my family's pride and joy.
Palomino sends out a lot of salt in these parts. If I'm playing tour guide, I might as well say that.
So we're going to a salt mine that may have some type of disease in it. And
And the chanting.
chanting.
Yeah, that's new.
It's a newer occurrence from my understanding of it, though I have heard some of it. Vague nights I come here and stare across the land.
Okay.
Virgil, are you sort of keeping an eye out around?
Yeah, I am
You seem
pretty
like
much focused on things around me right now.
make me an observe test. That is with your study.
A test.
I don't know. Well, I don't know really what to call checks in this game, so I'm just saying test.
Yeah,
I mean, you would study for a
observe,
test.
discover. Yep, 100%.
Totally.
That is a 9.
You could always bargain if you wanted to get a little information.
Here they go.
Okay, what's the bargain? Target to
Ooh.
ask one question.
Now I gotta.
Take plus forward. To act on the answers. I think I'm going to ask one question.
Okay, make me an offer.
I think the question is, what do I give up? Or is that just something you get to choose without me knowing?
I mean, I can choose if you like, or if you want to make me an offer, what you want to give up in exchange for this.
Well,
Let's make a deal.
Let's make a deal.
I think I can give up a cash for this. I have an offense cash. I would say that I would give that up in this moment after being told it's just like, oh, this is not something like that I'm used to dealing with, like people being vicious in exchange for this information, i.e., Virgil letting his guard down a little bit.
Okay. You won't lose it just yet, but it will probably be lost at an inopportune time. So you want what is the question that you want to ask?
Virgil knows that things were said about chanting and things were said about lights. I want to know if there's signs of people doing this, if there's a road that people are taking to make this kind of stuff happen.
Okay. You sort of keep an eye out sort of on the horizon. And at this point, you're getting a little bit closer to the mine, and you can actually see sort of a little ways up on a ridge. You can see a set of tracks coming downwards towards. So whoever is heading to the mines is coming from up that direction. It looks a little too well worn on the edge of the vista. You're a suspicious person by nature, and that sort of sets the
bells ringing. Yes.
Yeah.
Has that always been there? I'm going to point it out to everyone else.
Jasper, you know these hills.
Mm-hmm.
That's fairly recent. That's been put in. Those tracks are fairly fresh.
That looks new. His face kind of twists, and he crouches down, kind of closer to the ground to get a look at it.
Okay. Do you also want to try and observe something?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. I would say that this is almost a confront check in this case.
That's comforting. That's not great. 9.
You can ask me for if they look fresh. They look so I will tell you up front that they look. It looks fairly recent. There's a couple horse hoof prints, some actual footprints themselves, and it is fairly well worn. Like whoever's been coming here's been coming here for a couple days at least.
Okay.
That's the obvious. If you want, you can also bargain. If you want to ask more in-depth questions.
Does anyone have anything that they really want to know?
Is the most recent heading towards or away?
That's a good one.
You want to make a deal?
Okay, how
I'm not saying sacrifice yourself, but
how am I doing? No, because if we go into these mines and then Anita is like, the fireflies are there, I'm gonna start crying on the screen.
I'm not gonna throw fireflies at you this early in the game.
you would not believe your eyes.
10 million fireflies.
Lit up the world as I fell asleep.
Yep.
Listen, I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. Anyways.
Okay.
God. The session can't be just reciting the song.
that is
Our
all this is
band.
now.
Could and should are two very
It
different
will.
things.
That's the song we cover in the finale. This is you don't know what's happening stream, but that's the song we covered in the finale season 4.
Okay. Yeah, okay, what do I what exactly can I bargain to you? Can I give you points from my cash?
Well, that's what Virgil gave up.
Yeah.
Virgil gave up an offense cash, which let's have a quick look.
I can give up. I have an offense and a presence cash, so I can give
I
up
mean,
all those.
You know what? I think this might, for funsies.
Oh no. Fun for who?
Fun for me, of course. I think something happens when you take a point of stress, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to say I offer that you take a point of stress at a narratively appropriate time.
Don't
Or
say I don't
narratively
love you
inappropriate
guys.
time?
I will do it.
Okay.
I said you didn't have to.
Yeah,
it could,
but
it could turn out in your favor because you still have to roll for what happens when you take a point of stress.
Good
If
things
I-
can happen.
So good things can happen, but there's always the sauce.
okay. Well, I've given you my things.
So ask a question.
Are the tracks most recently going in or out?
They are most recently going in. Definitely.
Okay. Well, I've got bad news and worse news.
Start with the worst news.
The worst news is whoever's been treading this path recently went in. Head back out.
In the bad?
Someone's in your minds.
What?
In all of our minds.
Oh,
minds.
minds.
Yeah.
Minds. Genevieve's
okay.
minds.
Yes.
Mine's not
I thought you
mine.
meant minds.
I know,
Yeah.
I get it. I don't mind.
But
Anyways,
that's
there.
good and awful at the same time. It means we can potentially catch a perpetrator and, figure out what the hell's going on here. But it also means that we have to interact with an individual that may or may not be friendly.
We just need to keep him interacting long enough to immobilize himself.
What is our intention here if we encounter one of these individuals?
Well, I don't intend to let anybody in my company come to any harm.
Right.
There's nothing necessarily implying that whoever this is hostile. If they've been going in and out of the mines and howling. However, with the, how would y'all say it, the corresponding incidents, I wouldn't be too keen if we did come across whoever this is.
Right.
You said that you've been trying to get them to leave your minds? What sort of methods have you tried so far?
Generally, my main method is using the majority of the townspeople's fear of me to get my way. And then complaining to Gloria, but there's not much she can really do. Sometimes she's very, you know how she is.
Why again are they afraid of you?
The aforementioned thinking I killed my husband and mother and father.
Oh, and your parents.
Yes, Mr. and Miss McFadden, yes.
Those tales do seem to travel, don't they?
It's a small town.
Talk is cheap, and it ain't gonna do us any good right now. You want to keep moving, or
Should we? What point should we send the horses back?
I don't train no dumb horses. We can get a lot closer than this. We'll pitch them outside, and Sage will always know to run. Rest will follow.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You make your way through this sort of valley going down towards this entrance of this mine. You get that safe distance that you mentioned, Jasper. You set the horses. If they need to go, they can go. But Sage knows to stick around for you. And you know to let Sage know.
I think my horse would hopefully know, like my personal horse that I've taken would hopefully also know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I would hope my horse would like me as well.
So the group of you can start to make your way towards this mine entrance. It's tall, it's dark, it's offset by large beams, and there is a very nice sign above it. McFadden's Salt Mine. Enter at own risk.
Oh, jeez.
There was a bit of a scare campaign for a little while to try to get other people out of there. And then it didn't work well for business, really, either.
Is that so? All right.
I'm watching this cat just headbutt your mic stand, and I'm losing
I'm
it.
so desperately trying to ignore her.
I can just see one eye. It's very cute.
Ignoring her is pointless.
Praise
She's
her.
headbutting my window.
Incredible. So there's no sound, like no whispering that was mentioned before. No
Okay.
lights, seemingly.
No chanting?
No chanting. It seems quiet. Almost too quiet.
Can I make a roll?
Yeah, you can. What are you looking to do? Tell me what you're looking for.
So, I would like to. I think I would like to recognize any kind of like spirits or anything that's like supernatural about the area. And I think I can do that just by using my powers.
Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Sort of tapping into everything around you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, you got 2 power dice. If you like, you can roll them for me.
I will choose just to roll 1.
All right.
And I got a 3, which I will use for any result. To recognize spirits, elemental beings, even when they're inanimate.
There is one ping that is you're used to at this point.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one just over the shoulder of Mrs. Roy. You make eyes at this being. Older gentleman. Dressed very nicely. Looks at you.
I look at it, but I don't say anything. And with a soft...
Do you make eye contact?
Yes.
There's a wave.
There is a nod from Virgil as he turns his head and looks toward the mine to see if there's anything there. But if those are the only 2 things that are pinging, then I'm simply like, okay.
There's there's an energy to the mine, but it doesn't necessarily align with any of those things. You do sense an energy to it, though.
Okay. Nothing out of the ordinary here.
As we ride, Miss Ivy's going to tap into her mindfulness, and with an 11, she's going to just put her mindfulness on Virgil, as usual.
Remind me what that does again?
It can allow if there is a danger, she can, if get in when they're a target of an attack, she can take that attack instead.
Okay.
So something they do often, I think,
Just
when
a full
they go in
contingency.
dangerous places. Yeah. And she
Okay.
just kind of kicks it into place.
Do you
as we
all
move.
make your way sort of into this mine?
Yep.
I lead. I know the mines.
Absolutely. And you make your way sort of into this first tunnel that goes downward and slopes a little bit. There is a mine cart on the tracks that's sort of tilted over on one side. It's a little bit in disarray. There's some pickaxes that haven't been put back.
I pull out like a notebook and I just start writing things down. It's like just like notating all the things that are like out of place.
Grab a pickaxe to use as a walking stick, is kind of as we go.
That's actually not a bad idea. I would like to pick up a stray pickaxe as well.
Yeah, easily done. You just grab it and sort of heft it. You round a corner into sort of a large open area that's got a few sets of scaffolds on either side. And you all sort of feel it at the same time. There is that sort of sense, not necessarily that you're being watched, but that there's something present.
This is what Cynthia told me about.
But it almost feels like you missed the action. You know, the feeling that's in the air after a fight's broken out? Virgil, you would definitely know the feeling in the air after a fight's broken out. That tension. Like, is everything gonna cut? Is everything gonna go to hell all over again?
Can I make a roll?
Can I make a roll as well?
Ah, you can. Y'all can.
I am once again using my my powers here. I'm going to roll 2 power dice.
Okay.
I got an 8. And I'm going to use that for grand design. So if my next move is a demiurge power, I'm going to take +6 towards it.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
I'm getting ready.
For something to kick off.
Yeah. As I do, I think Genevieve, Jasper, and Ivy, though she's used to it, would feel just a small wave of heat. Like, I imagine that the mine shaft is probably pretty chilly, but there's a small heat coming from Virgil.
Yeah, you're underground, and like Cimarron County is kind of a little bit of a, not necessarily a desert, but it does get hot there. And the heat of the day as you made your way here, it gets like you've gone underground, and that cool air from like just being below the surface feels nice, but then all of a sudden it kicks up a little bit. There's that little extra hint of heat in the air. You can almost swear that you see that sort of faint wave of the lines. Genevieve, you wanted to also roll for your powers, correct?
I was going to roll no dice and choose my any result.
Okay.
Which is I want to recognize if the aftermath or havoc was caused by mundane or supernatural means.
Absolutely. Something happened here. And it is thick in the air, and you can hear that voice in your head that says, "This isn't right. Something's going on in here," and you hear those that those other ones, those little whispers that are almost like pinpricks that make that back of the hair on the back of your neck stand up on end. Something is wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
And you make your way a little bit deeper into the mine. You see a man face down on the earth with 7 daggers sticking out of his back.
Overdo it much?
I believe I recall you saying no murders.
That I was aware of.
First
People who
time.
murder someone in the mine, so usually be like, "Hey, boss, I murdered someone in your mine."
Suppose there's a first time for everything. Jasper seems like strangely calm. It's not like the face of a murderer, just like someone who isn't shaken so easily, and he will go try to check that out. As long as there's no weird noises coming at this moment, he will do that.
It is eerily quiet. You would
if
normally
that's
hear
worse.
the echo of your footsteps in this cavern, the sounds of your conversation echoing. It doesn't sound normal in here. And as you look at this man face down with 7 daggers in his back, your eyes are drawn past him. The way that his blood is pooled has almost made a line, like a path, to the cave wall behind him, where there is a door.
Miss Genevieve, what does that open up into?
Have I seen this door? Do I know this door?
That door should not exist. And as you look at it, you realize that door is not against the wall. That door stands separately from the wall.
That is a build-in violation that was not authorized by myself.
Speak plainly.
I've never seen that fucking door before.
You don't know.
Haven't got a clue in the world. But I'll open it.
Don't do that. I think he kind of surveys the group. Goes, Virgil, do you carry a firearm?
Not quite.
I have one.
Miss Ivy.
All right. Well,
Hell yeah.
before we open that up, I think it would be best for you to have that prepared. And he looks back down at the man with all of the daggers in him. Are they I know the focus is the door, but I do want to know, are they like arranged in any particular way? Like, is it like a straight line down the back kind of thing? Or are they randomly placed daggers?
One in each shoulder.
No, wait.
No, taker activated.
One in each shoulder.
Okay.
5 down the spine.
And if you touch the body, did it rigor yet?
It's stiff as a board.
He's he's only left us less than a day ago. He's in the middle of rigor mortis, like a board.
Okay, then.
I'd like to reach down and touch him. That's most of it. I just want to see if I don't know if I can try to talk to him,
Klaus Hargreaves, that motherfucker.
but I would like to try to talk to him. But I don't know if I have a specific power to do as such.
For sure. But you all sort of begin to hear this sound. Sound of knocking.
Oh, nah.
I'm gonna tap into my power and just
If you
see.
like, Becca, you can.
What would you like me to do? I'll do anything.
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
I'll give up everything.
Becca,
give you all my
it's
things.
episode 1.
I'll die. I'll roll a new character. I'll be the dead guy on the floor.
Make me a. I think I need each of you in turn to make me a stress roll.
Okay. And I know how
As
that
we all
works,
take a point of stress.
Take a
Okay,
point
I'll
of
take my point
stress.
of stress.
So,
Okay.
so because we all know how stress works again.
Okay, so you roll
okay.
2d6.
Roll 2d6,
And then you
and
subtract your stress point.
Okay.
from the total
So
roll.
What if
2d6
you don't
minus
have it?
1.
Wait, I don't have anything in stress. So
I think
You
we
do
just got
now.
one.
She just gave us
You-
1 point.
Oh,
You
okay.
do now,
Yeah, they gave us
and
one.
in fact, Jasper,
So I got
remember
five.
when I said
I
earlier
remember
that we
that.
made a bargain?
Yeah.
You take 2 points of stress.
Okay. I make it to
Okay.
2.
So I'm 5. 4 plus.
Oh, wow. You know what? I've been hyping up the bullet dice too much because they've been rolling well, but now they really decided to fail me, and I'm not a huge fan of that. 3.
Okay.
3.
Let's resolve these rolls in order, starting with Virgil.
So I rolled 7, counting the stress. It's a 6. However, I would like to use the +1 I got earlier to carry forward to this roll, if possible.
Okay, so that it's a 7.
So that is a 7.
Okay.
On the grounds, because I looked up how bargaining works again, and I was like, oh, okay, I had forgotten. On the grounds that I was aware that there was something wrong outside to begin with, and so seeing something that, could be supernatural in nature, I am now more braced against.
Sure, absolutely. And on a 7+, nothing. The ways of the mortal world are often beyond your understanding. There's got to be a logical explanation. It's a door. Someone's knocking on the door. You definitely know something is wrong. Hi, Raiders. Welcome in from Other Doc. Good to see you. Next up, Genevieve.
So I got a 4. So I have to bargain with you since I do not have my thing up. But can you please stop attacking my window? I'm about to die. I do not have an appropriate cache because the only caches I have are fancy and personnel.
Okay.
So I don't know what to do from there. I think I just have to head to the 1+1, unless you'll take something else.
So if it's +1, it's phasmophobia.
Because
And
yeah,
if your tractor is up, destroy it. Some havoc happens. I'd say your tractor
otherwise I
is
lash
not...
out and cause strong damage and havoc. Then I flee and are lost and don't come back until the next scene.
All right. Or you can, if you like, you can bargain.
Okay. All right. I mean, I do famously have some fancy cash and personnel cash, unless there's something else you are wanting in this particular moment.
Let me just have a quick look at your character sheet
Oh,
again.
please do, please do. It's very lovely this time of year. Um, Meanwhile, can you stop attacking my window?
There is a locket that is around your neck.
Yeah, there is.
And it keeps a very specific ward in place.
Mm-hmm.
It'll break.
Okay. What do I get? If it breaks, I don't cause havoc,
If
essentially.
it breaks, you don't cause havoc.
If it
But
doesn't,
havoc might you delay the havoc for perhaps another day.
okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
You can feel something inside shatter.
Hmm.
And it's almost, you hear that almost whisper. You'll be all right.
I put my hand on my shoulder like I'm touching someone's hand on my shoulder.
Listen, if something happens and I'm not here anymore, you know you can take care of yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got it. I took care of myself long before you showed up.
My words are good, but they won't last forever.
I know.
All right. Figure this out because this is wrong. And
No
pulls
shit.
back.
She says all that out loud to
Ivy.
herself. Yeah.
So Ivy has a 5.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, I think she's stunned. I think there's something about this door that just kind of triggers her, or it sets her in a stunned state just looking at it. So on my next move, I'll decide to either do nothing or take a move with a -3 forward.
Just, there's something about that door and the way that it's knocking, and it just does not feel right.
Yeah.
Jasper.
I have a plan.
Good.
All right.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
I rolled low. I have a 3.
Mhm.
I have a point of presence that I can sacrifice, and I want to say this on the grounds of that I am a peculiarity. So like even if something kind of weird is knocking, like so am I. And I think it's
Yeah, you are.
yeah, as much as Max, like, I live by the principle of I'm not gonna be the dumb person in the horror movie who dies. I'm gonna live. But I don't think Jasper has to do that. I think it's not a second thought to kind of just stand ground and stare at the source of the noise.
Okay. So you're going to spend an appropriate cash or carry?
Yes.
All right. You sort of stand your ground, and you all sort of stand transfixed at this door as it knocks. And then just as quickly as that sound came, all the sound in this place comes back into sharp focus, and you can hear the sound of drips in distant caverns. But something's changed. Something's wrong. And y'all are left now reeling to find out what that is. But as for what it is, we're going to have to find that out next episode. So who is the one that knocks?
Oh boy.
We'll find out next episode.
So
we're gonna go through.
If Fish survived season 1, we can survive this. There ain't no
Listen.
way.
Yeah.
He was so stupid. We can do this.
Listen, it's just the Avon lady. She's here to sell some stuff. We just
Welcome
gotta.
wagon.
Do you
Yeah.
think they have Girl Scout cookies in there?
Yeah. Oh my God. I'll throw in
down
the door
some
open.
sodas. Yes.
Boy, I
Admit
forget
me,
I
baby.
need to make a note that I've got +6 to my next demiurge power roll.
Yeah, you do.
Because
All
if something
right,
comes out,
y'all.
I'm blasting.
So we are gonna go through our outros, but we're gonna do things a little bit differently this season. So what I want us to do is you're gonna do your outros, and then you're going to do an outro for your character.
Oh,
What is your character thinking of, planning? What is going through their mind in the moments before they they leave this episode? And we'll start in reverse order this time with Max.
Do I do the character one first and then the me one?
I'll let's say character first and then yours.
Uh, well, if it's knocking, it's probably walking, but if it's knocking from the inside, it probably ain't that smart now, is it? And Jasper will stand up and kind of brush the dirt off of his pants from where he had kneeled beside the body, and is still zeroed in on the door. I am Max. You can find me anywhere that I want you to find me on the internet at Arcane Goth. I have a nice, fun season right now. Starting in March, you can find me on Take Your Role, running a POC-led and all-trans cast in a dual-system vampire versus vampire hunter game on Mondays. You can find me here on Fridays, and I'm airing some pre-recorded stuff with Apochromatic, but I don't actually know when it's coming out. We did record some of it, though, so soon. That's all I got, yeah.
Brandy, what is going through Ivy's mind?
Ivy's usually calm and cool, and she's a little panicked right now as she finds herself just completely stunned. There's something about this whole situation that she's not sure if it's a deja vu from the times before she can remember, or if there's something coming that's just so powerful. So she's just a little freaked out at the moment and trying to look at her friend, her Virgil friend, and like, oh shit. Yeah, a lot of ooh shit moment. But she's got to stay cool in her ooh shit.
I will give this to Ivy.
Oh,
Something about that door seems very familiar.
why can't she remember?
Anyways,
We'll see. But I'm B. You can find me as Kind Ranger on the Twitterverse. I'm not doing much right about now except for this amazing stream on Fridays, which I'm very excited to be back into because I heart my Friday crew. Love you guys.
next up, Genevieve.
I think Genevieve right now is panicking slightly about potentially losing one of her most grounded things that's been with her for the past 4 years, as well as the fact that shit's just fucked in her mind and she knows absolutely nothing about it, and the constant fear of, oh, I might get the thing that's killed everyone that's been ever close to me here in this mine, and just trying to stay cool and calm because she knows what happens when she does not stay cool and calm. Yeah.
All right, and who are you?
I'm Becca. You can find me anywhere that I am worth finding as Cool Armadillo, either with zero as the final O or not, depending on a case-by-case basis. As for things I'm on, I'm doing way too many things. On Mondays, you can find me over at twitch.tv/talkingxp, where I play Vaughn, who is a barbarian rogue at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. On this upcoming Wednesday, you can find me for the season finale of Blood Tax over at Take Your Role, where I play Magnus, who is a little traitorous fuckboy. And on Saturdays, you can find me at twitch.tv/GamerZillaKong, where I play Galen Law Morales, an aspiring detective, who may not be who he says he is, at 7 p.m. Eastern for Pacific. That's it.
And Virgil.
Virgil, in this moment, sees a door and sees a dead body and only has eyes for the body. The door is not a problem. It's not an issue. It's just a door. What's going on is who killed this guy? And whatever killed this guy ain't going to be walking around for very much longer. That's it. That's him. And I am Omnis. Hi. I am not doing a lot of things on the internet, save the show, which I was very excited, like B. This is a fantastic crew, and I'm glad to be back. You can find me on the internet as Omnis, XOMNIS_X on Twitter, without the underscore everywhere else that I am, such as Twitch. You will find me tomorrow streaming either Warsim or I just got Skyrim again. So I don't know if I'm gonna mod this game and wake up someplace where I wasn't supposed to be. But hey, I'm finally awake. So we'll figure it out. I'll catch you guys tomorrow there on my channel.
Heck yeah. Camera pans back to Palomino, to the Six Dice Saloon. And there's a worried look on the face of Cynthia. She says to Gloria, "Are you sure we did the right thing?" Gloria says, "Listen, back then we made a deal. And time comes when you have to pay the price, right? They know what they're doing. They can handle it." Cynthia says, but Ivy's your friend. Why'd you do that to your friend?" And Gloria says, "Had to be Ivy. Couldn't be anyone else." Hi, I'm Anita, and you can find me everywhere as at Finita or at Critical Misses. You can find me here tomorrow morning for Morning Ritual, our TTRPG talk show. You can find me Sunday over on Pluto Cleric's channel for The Weird Frontier, which is a Starfinder game. And on Thursdays, you can find me over on Cyberpunk Uncensored for a Star Trek Adventures game. And that's called Flight Beyond the Veil. And other than that, follow me on the Twitter, and you'll be able to figure out where I am, what I'm doing, what's happening. Sometimes you can also find me on other places. I usually post to my Twitter, let you know where you can find me. That's it. That's me. Thank you all so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. I am going to throw us over on Raid to
Neon Lights is on.
Neon Lights Roleplay's on?
Yeah, I see them.
I don't know. I don't follow enough DTRPG channels. Usually when I raid people, it's just like, oh, I was playing this. Let's go find something completely different.
Are they online, or is my Twitch lying to me?
Twitch, stop lying.
Let's give it a whole refresh.
Oh, no. Oh, now they're offline. My sidebar said that they were online.
Well, they might have just ended.
Maybe they just ended, yeah.
They probably just ended. We're gonna go say hi to. Let's go say hi to Madame Gandalf. Is playing some Grand Theft Auto right now. We'll start the raid over there. Say hi to Alex. Thank
Love
you all so
Alex.
much for joining us and stopping by. And until next time, who's the one that knocks? Bye. Max, if you want to just take us to
All right.
the just to that break screen again, and I'll send us over on that raid.
Whee!